got this movie that came out in 2019 called Anna. Boy, I should have been did this shit. So basically you got like 9 different people getting picked up in Moscow. This dude named Velez is talking to this one girl. Next thing you know, her head gets sent in a box. We're like, what the fuck is going on? Then we got this guy by the name of Sammy. He ends up going to these like outside stores outside of Moscow. Ends up talking to this chick by the name of Anna, who by the way speaks like 7 different languages. So he's trying to get into some like modeling agency and she goes along with it. She's going to school and she's selling like Malaysian dolls in her part-time. So why would she automatically just pick up and decide to be on some modeling shit? Well, she gets herself situated. She talks to this lady by the name of Maurice. Starts her at one of these little like boarding houses where it's like a bunch of women and a lot of them are named Anna. So she calls her Anna M. I guess from Moscow? Sure. She ends up meeting this one chick in there by the name of Irina, who will happen to be her girlfriend in the movie. So basically she's been in the modeling gig for about a month now, right? That I got this little celebration thing they're setting up. She ends up meeting this dude by the name of Otreski. He supposedly happens to be from the same area she's from. He tries to take her on dinner. Next thing you know, a whole month's gone by. They've been kissing and whatnot, but they ain't never really do. Because he's never really told her what he does or what he's about, you know what I'm saying? And so because he likes her, he's going to tell her stuff that he's never told anybody. He talks about how he helps out with shipping out food and low-income housing, but he also talks about shipping certain types of weapons. So after he says that she's going to the bathroom, freshen up, whatever like that, right? You think he about to clap them cheeks, right? Wrong. She comes out, hit him with the silence, and done deal, daddy shit. I'm like, so now we gotta go back to her past. She was living with this dude by the name of Peter who she was smashing. But honestly, she hated her life there, you know what I'm saying? She was getting on the computer and she would fill out applications to like the Navy and stuff like that. And he's tripping like, don't I provide a better life for you? You get weed, you get housing, boarding, blah, blah, blah. But she wants something better for her life. And they ain't got no food in the house. So she goes to the grocery store to get some food, right? This motherfucker Peter pulls up with a car talking about getting the car. He's like, Basically comes up there with a quote-unquote stolen BMW. Got some random chick in the front seat and a couple of his boys in the back. So it gets to the point where she didn't want to get in the car, but she gets in anyway. Now she's thinking they're going home, but they end up going to an ATM. He's like, we ain't got no ATMs around here. So they stop at the ATM, get out the car, get this fat dude out the trunk, and we're like, I get it now. He beat this guy up, took his credit card, and that's his car they're in. They go to the ATM, this dude is giving them like wrong numbers and shit like that, and I don't even think he had any money in it anyway. But he's doing all that stalling for time. Next thing you know, the cops pull up. His homeboy starts shooting at the cops. They got to get in the car, and now they got to pull out. These niggas end up getting away from the cops and then crash into somebody else's car. And both Anna and Peter make it back to the house with the groceries. Peter says he got to pack some stuff. We got to get the hell out of here. As he's going into the room, Anna sits at the table. They didn't even realize this dude by the name of Alex was sitting by the door the whole time. But Anna is so calm in this situation. So she's like, how'd you know where to find me? He was like, yeah, I did your information. I found out your father was a military brat, but I picked up your information when you signed up applications in the Navy. Basically, he's part of the KGB. They can look up anything. He thinks she got a unique set of skills to be able to join anything. And apparently she's already had 1 year of like military training. And we found out her parents died in a car accident. Got hit by a fucking 18-wheeler. And she's basically been on her own since she was like 6 years old. So as Peter coming out the room, Alex done deals him real quick. And he says, Anna, you got a choice. You can come with me or I can just kill you real quick. But then Anna decides to slit one of her wrists. We're like, what the fuck? She says she's basically trading one position for another. She don't have no freedom either way. He tells her you get some combat training for about 4 or 5 years. After that, I'll do my best to try to find you a way out. So basically, he convinced her to wrap it up. So after a couple of years, she met Olga, who was Alex's superior. She sent her to the ringer first until she got some credentials on her. She was like, all right, let me give you a mission. So we get to this spot. She's like, all right, this is the target. You got 5 minutes to get this man's phone and get up out of there. And then she gives her a gun and it's time. Crazy thing is, she gave her a gun with no bullets in it. And on top of that, everybody that was in the restaurant is his bodyguards. I'm like, what the fuck? She used the ingenuity, murked everybody in that bitch, including him, got the phone. By the time she left out the back, they was gone. She took 6 minutes. She ended up getting back to headquarters to give her the phone, but it took like 5 hours. But she got to set up in some housing. It was like, yeah, take these 2 weeks to get this next mission popping. She gets a knock on the door as Alex. They end up getting to smashing. Wild and rough sex and all that craziness. So this mission that they were working on were the one she was setting up as a vendor. This is where Sammy came in to ask her to be a model, to working for a month to get Mr. Trustrad's attention so she could done deal him and get the information off of his phone or whatever. All this shit was planned. The crazy part is, when C.I.A. operative Mr. Miller asked her questions about me and Mr. Trustad, she was like, well, I was supposed to meet up with him, but I ended up meeting up with him inside of the hotel, but I was in the lobby waiting. Now, the reason why her story checks out, so when she shot him in the hotel, you know what I'm saying, and got the security done, there was a girl that looked just like her to replace her and had her walking up the steps and going back down. And of course, she knows where the cameras are, too. Anna went in the bathroom dressed in all black, went out one direction. The cameras caught a doppelganger hand out the other direction. That's why Miller thought he had the times right when he was looking to see what was going on between those time of days. And we were like, oh shit. So it got to a point where she actually met Mr. Vaslev. Remember the guy at the beginning I was talking about putting heads in boxes? Well, guess what? He runs the whole KGB. Yeah, over Olga. So Anna thought at a certain point she could try to get her way out of the KGB for a bit. And Vaslev was like, man, the only way you leave out here is in a box. He did say, but I will give you respect because most agents don't even last 5 years. So he said he might have some leniency one day. But we all know that day not coming. So they give us a montage of all these missions she be doing, murking niggas and getting the business. Then we got this mission where she's supposed to go in this hotel, right? She got to get this guy, get this briefcase, and make sure the documentation's in there and get fingerprints. So this guy basically wants a stripper or whatever like that. That's what she's supposed to be. But the funny thing about this is, he was talking about she was late. And I'm like, late? She's not late for jobs or whatever like that. Then we go back. She was doing one of her modeling gigs or whatever like that, but it was taking all day. The dude that was supposed to be taking pictures of being rude. He was getting on the phone, stuff like that. So she lost her patience, beat the shit out of him, and started taking pictures of him. It was like, fuck. But obviously the reason she did that is because she was late for a mission. Now, getting back to this, she goes in the room after she gets past the bodyguard. She goes in the bathroom. They already got guns set up in the bathroom. She does her job, get the briefcase. And then Olga's like, where's the fingerprint? So you can't get the fingerprints out the briefcase? She's like, no, we need you need me to actually cut his fingers off. And then she lost her watch on top of that. So I'm like, wait a minute, is Anna getting sloppy? She goes back in there, gets the finger, gets her watch. And Olga can tell Anna feels stressed out. She's like, take a break. Take a week of vacation. So she takes a vacation with her girl, Raina, because they're together now. She ended up getting a house and everything for both of them, you know what I'm saying? Because of all the rental money and modeling money and stuff like that. After she came back for vacation, she got a card for Olga. It was like, oh, this is nice. Then she's like, ready to get back to work? She's like, yeah. More killing and more gathering information and murking niggas and all that. And that was about a full year of gangsterism. And Olga tells her she can head back to Moscow now. So she gets back to Moscow. Her and Alex get to smashing in the closet. Alex leaves out first, and then Anna do not be detected or whatever like that. The closet is right in the fucking building. And she meets a one-on-one with Vasily, you know what I'm saying, to get a game of chess going. And after she beats him at chess, she pulls out a gun and then bangs off Vasily. We're like, what the fuck? Now we got flashback again. Now we get to the point she gets back in that room where she was supposed to get the briefcase and the fingerprints or whatever like that, but it turns out the gun that she got was not loaded. And the CIA was already in that room at the same time with Mr. Miller. We're like, oh shit. So basically with no choice, she's got to make a deal with Mr. Miller. Basically, she's going to do whatever he wants to do for like a year, but she wants her freedom. Or whatever place she decides to go on, she decides she wants to be in Hawaii. So at that point, they had handcuffed her at one point, and that's when she forgot her watch. So when she had to go back and get this man's finger, she goes back in the room and talks to Mr. Miller. It's like, look, I got to cut his finger off. She says, got to be a clean cut. Olga spots that shit. That's when she got the finger and sent it to Olga. And on the time when she went on vacation, she ended up going in a little hut in this little closet, whatever like that. Mr. Miller was down there. She was talking about how she'd never been to Hawaii before, and he was like, yeah, this is like my second home. So he asked her, why does she want to come down here? She says it's always been a dream to travel, and it's always been her parents' dream or something like that. So the thing is, Alex really likes her, and Miller really starting to like her too. So when she got back, you know what I'm saying, she was on her missions, her killing missions, or killing sprees, whatever. One particular mission, Miller was there. And on this mission, he needed her to kill Mr. Vasily. But here's the thing. The 9 people at the beginning of the movie and that was captured by Mr. Vasily, turns out they were C.I.A. operatives. They were all lined up to be killed by this nigga. Now, the reason he's asking her to do it is because she's the closest to him and will find you the best possible way to get in and out the building while doing this. And then she asks him, hey, will I be free after this? He's like, yeah, absolutely. He's like, we already got 3 spots lined up for you in Hawaii, just in case you don't like the first spot or the second one. So we get to the point where Alex and Anna was smashing in the closet, right? So Alex went out first, but they already had a gun set up for Anna in the closet. So that's how she was able to get one in the room with Vasily. So she banged off on Vasily, gave Alex a number agent because she cares about him. Now she got to slowly creep up out the building. Waiting on the outside is Mr. Miller and his boys in the car. They saying they got diplomatic pace so they could be close to the building. But that's supposed to be her exit. Alex somehow gets close to the red button to press it before he passes out. And now it alerts the whole building. So now Anna got to murk niggas to get outside. So it got to the point where officers were getting Mr. Miller to leave, so they had no choice but to dip. So we're like, damn, how the fuck she gonna get out this building? Did she even get out the building? So then we see Mr. Miller back in his office. Then he's just pissed off. But then he ends up going to Raina's house. They got guns drawn and everything. But he basically asks her questions like, you seen Anna? She's like, nah. And then he's like, sorry for the disturbance. And then they dip out. So he goes back to his office. Everybody's congratulating, job well done on getting rid of Vasily or whatever like that because he's a tyrant and all this other shit. Then his pager goes off telling to meet him somewhere at the park or whatever like that. And it's a message from Anna. So he's like, oh shit. So Miller's about to meet in the park and he reports he's got his guys and everybody watching. They're already sitting there and shit like that. But he gets to the spot. He ends up seeing Alex across that joint. So we're like, oh shit. Olga and the rest of the crew watching on the side. So each side is watching each other, right? Then all of a sudden, Anna finally pops up. Now, here's the thing. Anna just wants her freedom. So she gives Alex this chip or whatever like that for the information that the KGB needs. Then she gives Miller a phone for all the information that the CIA needs. And this is basically going to buy her 6 months of freedom. Because obviously East Side's going to chase her down after this. But bottom line is, she's just happy to get 6 months. She's never had freedom in her life. That's how she felt. She says she loves both of them and then she dips out. So either side is waiting for each other to back off, KGB and CIA or whatever like that. Then all of a sudden, as Anna's walking down the other way, Olga's like, man, I can't stand for this shit. She turns around and bangs off, and I'm like, oh my God, Anna's dead as shit. What the fuck? So Alex and Miller heard the shots. We're like, what the heck is going on? So they both go back to their little transceiver spots or whatever like that to try to get the information, try to get the camera footage. And neither one can figure out what the hell is going on. Next thing we see, we go back to the KGB building, and Olga is sitting at the top of the building. We're like, wait, what? She's sitting in the chair. She's basically going to run shit, right? She's sitting in the chair looking at Anna's file. Then she gets a recent message. All of a sudden, she clicks on the message. She's like, if you're getting this message, you already know what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had to thank you for everything. I appreciate everything you've done for me. So then we flash back to seeing Anna laying there dead, right? But the crazy thing is, before Alex and Miller were able to look at information on the camera footage, Anna woke up and rolled into the bushes, and then her doppelganger came and rolled back out. I was like, ain't no fucking way, yo. Police found her and put the sheets over her before Alex and Miller could even identify her. We were just like, awesome. They really think she's dead. She ended up rolling around in the sewer somewhere, and then she put on all black. She had her little equipment set up, and then we found out she don't even got real hair to begin with. She had a whole wig on the whole fucking time. Then she puts on like this black hat and just skates on out. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, how she even survived the battle in the KGB building, let alone get to this point to the park? Well, turns out Olga knew about the CIA the whole fucking time. The thing is, when she came back from vacation, Olga had cameras set up all over the place, so she saw Miller there. So she said, yeah, you're basically going to do everything Miller says. She's like, just inform me of everything that he's telling you. So the thing is, when she got out of the KGB building, she ended up going the back way, and Olga was waiting for her in the back to escape. I'm like, damn. And the two reasons why she did this? One, because Olga wanted Valesky's spot. He was like, man, fuck him. And two, Anna reminds her of her daughter. So Anna to the world is pretty much pronounced dead, and Olga deleted her files. So now for the first time in her life, Anna is legitimately free. Yo, that Moscow espionage shit be crazy, son. You can still catch the movie on Netflix. Honestly, it's supposed to be there until the end of the month. Yeah, December 31st, 2024. And on Netflix, check that shit out.